The Midnight Sun Killer, James Dale Ritchie. Alaska is known for its quiet nights, endless snow, and calm landscapes. But a few years ago, Anchorage faced something it wasn't ready for. A man who hunted people without warning. A man who walked the streets like everyone else, but carried a deadly secret. His name was James Dale Ritchie, and the press called him the Midnight Sun Killer. Let's break down how a normal-looking resident became one of the most chilling killers Anchorage ever saw, and how a simple traffic stop exposed the darkness hiding behind an ordinary face. A city caught off guard. In 2016, Anchorage suddenly experienced a wave of random attacks. People were being found dead along quiet trails, in parks and near isolated paths. There was no robbery, no obvious motive, no connection between victims, just silent, sudden violence. At first, police thought the crimes were unrelated. There was no pattern they could see, at least not yet. But the timing, the consistency, the cold precision, it was too sharp to ignore. The wounds told a story, the locations mapped out a disturbing pattern, and investigators started to realize something unthinkable. Anchorage had a serial killer. Residents felt fear creep into daily life. People avoided nighttime walks. Trails, once peaceful, suddenly seemed threatening. Every stranger became a question mark. Alaska is known for its wilderness, but in 2016, the danger wasn't in the woods. It was walking on two legs. Who was James Dale Ritchie? Ritchie wasn't a stranger to Anchorage. He grew up there. He attended local schools. He had been a talented athlete in high school, well-liked, strong, charismatic. But behind that image, there were cracks. People who knew him said he was quiet but confident, smart but troubled. He drifted toward crime early in life. Small offenses grew into larger ones, and eventually prison became a defining part of his adulthood. Years behind bars hardened him. By the time he was released, something deep inside him had shifted. When he came back to Anchorage, he tried to blend in, or at least look like he did. He lived simply, kept to himself. Rarely drew attention, but underneath the surface, investigators later said, he carried anger, isolation, and a dangerous detachment from society. Something had changed in him long before the city realized. The weapon that connected everything. The key clue in the investigation was a gun, a Colt Python 347 revolver, a powerful, classic handgun. And this single weapon showed up in cases all across the city. Ballistics linked it to a double homicide on a trail, a murder in a city park, another shooting that had no witnesses and no apparent motive. Every bullet told the same story. The same killer was walking free, someone cold, calculated, and completely silent. Police didn't know who he was yet, but whoever it was, he was getting bolder. The precision of the shots, the calm execution, and the lack of any evidence left behind pointed to someone experienced, someone confident. Anchorage had seen violence before, but never like this. The victims had no connection. Unlike many serial killers, Ritchie didn't target a specific type. His victims were young, old, men, women, different backgrounds, different lifestyles. There was no pattern, no psychological profile, no gender preference, no personal connection. This made the case even more terrifying because anyone could be next. No one could predict his choices. No one could identify a motive. People living in Anchorage felt something they weren't used to. Fear of simply walking outside at night. Trails became empty. Parks became places people avoided. And for months, families wondered if the killer was someone they knew, someone they passed in the grocery store or saw at a gas station. And in a chilling twist, they were right. The stop that changed the entire case. Everything broke open in November 2016. Late at night, police pulled over a suspicious vehicle. The stop seemed routine at first, nothing unusual, but the driver acted strange. He refused commands. His movements were tense and unpredictable. And then, without warning, he opened fire. The man behind the wheel was James Dale Ritchie. A violent shootout erupted. Ritchie fired multiple rounds at officers, and they fired back. The confrontation lasted only seconds, but it changed Anchorage forever. When the smoke cleared, Ritchie was dead. But what officers found in the moments after the shootout shocked everyone. The revolver in his pocket, the Colt Python 357, was the exact weapon used in the unsolved killings. That single discovery unraveled the entire mystery. The Midnight Sun killer had been walking freely among them all along. Investigators realized how close they were. Once detectives confirmed the weapon match, they reviewed Ritchie's movements. What they uncovered was chilling. He lived only minutes away from some crime scenes. He walked the same trails he hunted on. He visited the same stores, the same gas stations, the same corners of the city as his victims. In some cases, he may have passed officers who were investigating his own crimes. He blended into Anchorage like a shadow, always there, never seen. What shocked investigators most was how invisible he seemed. He didn't brag. He didn't taunt police. He didn't leave clues. He didn't behave like the stereotype of a serial killer. He lived quietly. He attacked silently. He disappeared fast. Even experts struggled to explain his motive. Why did he do it? This is the part that still leaves people uneasy. There is no clear motive, no confession, no diary, no message left behind. Ritchie took the truth with him the night he died. Psychologists suggest he may have struggled with extreme isolation, emotional disconnection, and anger after returning from prison. Some believe his crimes were an expression of power, a way to feel in control in a world where he felt powerless. Others believe he simply enjoyed hunting people. But the truth? We will probably never know. And in many ways, that makes this case even more haunting. The legacy of the case. The Midnight Sun killer wasn't brought down by a dramatic manhunt. He wasn't discovered through hidden clues or elaborate profiling. The case broke because of a simple, routine traffic stop. A moment of luck. A coincidence that saved lives and closed one of the darkest chapters in Anchorage's history. His actions forced the city to make changes. They increased surveillance in remote areas, added patrols to popular trails, and trained officers to respond faster and more strategically to suspicious behavior. People who lived through that year still remember how the city felt different, how neighbors warned each other to stay inside, how trails once peaceful became symbols of fear. Anchorage learned an uncomfortable truth. Sometimes the most dangerous people look completely normal. James Dale Ritchie's story is proof that sometimes the most dangerous people hide in plain sight. No pattern, no motive, just silent, unpredictable violence that shocked an entire community. If you want more deep dive stories like this, stay close. There are still cases that shaped cities, changed investigations, and revealed how unpredictable human behavior can be. Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed the content, please hit the like button and subscribe to stay updated with our latest videos on YouTube.